Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. It is Monday, and the market has pulled back a little bit, but some of the stocks that we have are up, which is great. And just wanted to kind of get into the slides. So without further ado, let's go with some of the slides here. Basically, it looks as if it looks as if oil has hit 109 a barrel, which is a lot. It is definitely a lot, and that seems to be the case here. The Dow and the Nasdaq fell, and also the S&P fell. So just a little bit. We had an uptrend on Friday, and now it appears that we are kind of going back to the same old, and we definitely pulled back a little bit. But there's some good news out there. I just wanted to show you a stock that I was talking about last week, and it did break out today. It's pulled back a little bit, but this one you might want to put on your watch list. It's called St. Joe Company. It's based in Florida, and it definitely is doing very, very well. It's an oil and gas play, but it's also a timber play and also a residential play. This is the largest, I believe this is the largest private landholder in the state of Florida, doing very, very well. Moved up, broke out today and moved up to 57.81, and then it pulled back a little bit. I want to kind of show you the daily chart of this. This is the weekly chart, but the symbol on this is Joe, J-O-E. It's really easy to remember, and this is the chart on it, and it's looking very, very good. And here's the thing, normally resource stocks like this, not as much in terms of where they're going, but right now I'm definitely seeing it. It came up to this original buy point, this 55.49 buy point, and then it moved past it, pulled back, and now it's sort of recocking. So here's the thing to do on this one. You need to wait a little bit on this one until it pulls back. It's definitely pulling back in the after hours. I want to kind of look at the 10-minute chart on it. It kind of exploded out of the gate today. Kind of interesting. It just, boom, it went all the way from 54 up to 58, which is pretty amazing for a company that's involved in real estate. Kind of amazing. It's pulling back a little bit after hours, but you might want to put this one on your watch list. By the way, I have put together a nice little ready list for everybody out there, and it is available. It is available out there. So, just want to show you the stock of the day. It's called MP Minerals. It just cleared a. It just cleared a resistance, but there is some more resistance basically at the $51 to $53 range. But this is another one you might want to look at. This is a cup with handle formation, so this one also might be something that would be of interest. This is the chart on it. Basically, what we've got going on here is we've got we've got it coming up over that 47.30 buy point, right into the buy zone, and this one may pull back a little bit, but this is another one that you could definitely look at. Basically, this is a rare earth mineral play. Kind of a nice chart here. You might want to put this one down, maybe write it down. MP Minerals Corp, and it does have quite a good checklist. 89 is the checklist on this one. Pretty excellent when it comes down to that. 89 is a very good number for the checklist. It's just right, basically 4% above the pivot, but do expect it to pull out back down a little bit. The buy point on this one, 47.30 on this one, and it's a cup with handle. This is the best buy. This is the best pattern, by the way, if you are looking, because the cup with handle tends to be the best setup. All right, I'll show you kind of where the small portfolio is. The small portfolio is a little portfolio that we keep here at Dallas Trading Floor. and basically kind of shows us what we're doing, where we're in, what we're out of. Currently, I have 5 stocks in the small portfolio, ranging from basically up 6.11% to basically from 1.13% up to 6.11%. The average time that I've held these, a little over 5 days. We have one that we've held for 19 days. That's Berkshire Hathaway, BRKB. Then we also have Oxy, which did pretty well today. It was up nicely today. Then Arista Networks, ANET, ANET. That's Arista Networks. That's kind of a cloud play. Another oil company that I did also look to increase my my holdings of is Hess. HES doing quite well. It's up about 4.11% in 5 days. Notice that there's a lot of retailers in here. I mean, a lot of material stocks. Also, we have Costco. Costco was off a little bit today. I've been in it since Thursday of last week. Not a whole lot of amount of time, but it's also looking fairly good. It's quite an expensive stock, up about 1.13% in 6 days. So that's not looking bad either. Still have some cash to place, and I'm looking to do that as quickly as I can. But it's just finding the right setups is difficult. This is currently what I have overall. These are all the stocks that I have currently. Of course, we talked about Berkshire. Quanta Services, another nice little stock. Don't have that in the small portfolio, but I have it in one of the other portfolios. Symbol on that one is PWR. Again, Costco. Then Hess, HES, that one's up pretty nicely, actually. About up 644 today, or about 6%, which is kind of amazing. I do think that Hess has legs. This has been sort of a very strong group in the oil and gas area. It has been these international E&P companies. I have 2 of them right now. One is Occidental, the other one is Hess. And let's just move over to the live chart for Hess. Currently, Hess, it was in this buy zone. We did buy it right in the buy zone. We bought the full position at 97.43. Currently, it's at 103.85. So it moved very nicely out of this buy zone. Now, here's the thing: do expect this one to pull back, because typically when they move out at such a strong pace, they will typically pull back. So I do expect this one to pull back down, maybe as low as 95. I don't think that it'll be that low, but this one probably will pull back. So if you want to go ahead and add a position here, be a little bit careful, because this one could pull back quite fairly low. I do have a stop on this one at about 95. That's this little mark here. I do have a stop on this one, so that's something to consider. So now, for the other stocks that we have, Arista Networks, of course, we talked about that. It's up today just slightly, 70 cents, not a lot. Occidental Petroleum, it was up strongly too. This one you might want to consider, because this Oxy has been, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has been buying Oxy, and it is kind of reacting to that, reacting to that news, and basically it's up. I did add a half position. I had a full position basically at 56.82, excuse me. That was on the 18th, so basically on Friday. Today, I added to the position. Maybe I added a little bit high. I had it at 58. It's at 61, though, after hours, so it's looking strong. Now, I don't know if it will continue at this level, but I wanted to get in there for another round of buying here on Oxy, because I do think that this one probably will do fairly well. Let's kind of look at the statistics on it. It's got an 89 checklist, which is really good. Earnings per share on this one, it did fail, but I do think that we are coming into a period where it should do very well. Part of the reason, of course, is the high price of oil. The oil, at 109, it makes some of these plays very, very attractive, because, of course, they make money as the oil price goes up. This is the number one group currently in the market. It's the Oil and Gas International E&P. I have 2 of them in this group. One, of course, is Oxy, and the other one is Hess. let's see if we can go. I want to see if I can bring this whole group up. Kind of gives you a look-see at this group, because you want to definitely look at this group, possibly to to buy something in. So here is the group, the international E&P area. It basically, there are several companies on the list, kind of off their all-time high. Murphy Oil is the best producing, and then Oxy, and then Hess. So these are the ones that I'm really mostly interested in. Let's see if we can take a look at Murphy Oil and see if that will show us. Unfortunately, I don't think Murphy is at a buy point, but I think we can kind of look at it a little bit to kind of see what's going on here. This is the other one. This is the one that I don't have, so I'm probably not going to be buying Murphy, but this is another very strong stock. Relative strength on Murphy Oil is 99, so very, very good. It's I do have Hess, and I do have Occidental. This right now is the strongest group in the market, so it's definitely where, if you're going to do, if you're looking to do, if you're looking to acquire something, this is a group that might be of extreme interest for you. It's called the International E&P Group. It includes Hess, it includes Occidental, it includes Murphy Oil. Some of the ones that you probably not have heard of, but definitely a good place to look. This is, I also did buy today, and this is unusual for me because this is coming out of a very, very deep base. I did buy some AMD today, Advanced Micro Devices. Of course, everybody knows them. And normally, I've been waiting until this popped above the 200-day moving average. I don't like to buy stocks if they are below that 200-day moving average. So I did get an alert this morning, and then once I got this alert, I then came in and bought it. It came up, as you can see, this is the red line here. I did get this alert. This is a reversal line, and it did reverse higher, but then after ours pulled back. So we're right at the pivot here. Let's take a look at the technicals to kind of see if we can, if there's anything else we can do here. We've got an 89 checklist, of course. That's excellent. And right now we are just slightly above that 200-day line. It's never a good idea, I don't think, to buy anything above that, below that 200-day line. But as it's starting to peak up, I think we may be able to get a reversal here, hopefully. And if it does, then if it moves up, we will be adding to the account. But hopefully we'll get some strength here as it's moved above, as it moves above this 200-day moving average. I bought today at 113.83. Currently, it's at 115.73. So made a little bit, not a whole lot, but this looks like it may be reversing. So that's kind of my take on AMD. It's really right now I'm trying to find some good techs. I have been out of the techs, and I've been mostly into the resource stocks. And I want to get back into the techs, but it's just the ones that are setting up. That's the situation. I also want to show you Rambus. I did buy a position in Rambus. This is RMBS. This is also a semiconductor maker. I'm leaning more towards the semis right now than I am anything else in tech, because they seem to be set up the best, and they will probably benefit. I hate to say, they probably will benefit from inflation. Rambus is it's in a lot better. It's got a lot better chart pattern than it's got a lot better chart pattern than AMD does. It's not coming off the 200-day line or anything like that, but it's a much smaller stock, and I do believe it's coming. Even though it's a little bit extended, I bought a little bit extended. There is a prior high at 29.89, so that was what I was keying off of there. Today I did buy at 30.97, so 30.97, so basically about 31. So it's up about 21 cents today. So that's not looking bad. Hopefully we can hold on to this, because I do think that it's likely. This is a basing period. I do think it's likely to move higher. Rambus, this is definitely definitely one that you want to take a look at. because it's set up extremely nice. Now, I do have some option plays, and I wish I could say that my option plays were doing as well as some of the other things, but I do have an iron condor on United Health. It is currently underwater by $102. So it only has really a potential of $368. That was the amount of the credit that we got initially. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of taking a look-see attitude, and I don't know if I will close it or not, but at least that's how it goes here. Basically, this is the dashboard for the iron condor spread. Basically, when we opened it on the when we opened the trade, we received a credit of $368. Now, currently, with a 507.66 price of the underlying stock, that's where it closed. The value of the spread, if we were to close it immediately today, would be about a negative $112. So we're a little bit shy. Now, I am expecting there to be a little bit of a pullback, and if it does, and we move into April with a little bit of a pullback, we'll be fine. If not, we will probably close the spread. We'll probably close the spread. So that's kind of the long and the short of it. I wanted to also put up there, we did add to the ready list today. There's another tab on there for the 21st of, the 19th of March. To get it easy to do, all you have to do, it's free. Just go to this address, https://bit.ly/DTF0099. It's easy to remember, and that will give you access to the ready list. This is kind of where I'm getting a lot of my potential stocks that we're getting ready that are setting up, that are getting ready to buy. Now, here's the thing with that. You've got you typically, when the market has changed direction, which it has, we like to sort of buy off of those ready lists. So it's a very good idea to have a watch list ready and set alerts, and then when the alerts are tripped, then go and take a look and possibly buy at that level. So that's what I'm going to try to do for everyone here. And this is free, bit.ly, bit.ly /DTF0099. So if you want to get an access to that, it's really good. It's really good. Okay, well, we have a lot of people on TikTok. Thank you very, very much. More likes, and please like this, by the way. What is your typical holding time frame? I typically am a relatively short-term trader. I like to hold basically. I like to hold basically just a very few days. I'm a swing trader initially in the small portfolio. So let's jump over to the small portfolio so you can take a look at kind of my holding period. Currently in the small portfolio, my average time of hold is all about 10 days. So it's very, very short. I suspect now that we're swinging up that we're going to see that go longer, but I don't hold relatively long in the small portfolio. I'm looking for those short-term moves. To make money. So that's kind of the long and short of it. Now let's get over to some of the other questions. Thank you for waiting, everybody. Thoughts on Vale? Can we see it hit 21? Now, Vale, by the way, is a mineral stock. It's a copper producer, and it's based in Brazil, and it's one of the biggest in the world. And so you're definitely fishing in the right fishing ground. So that's definitely for sure. Vale is a good bet because it is basically in the right area of the market. And so let's kind of take a look at Vale. Oh, that's U.S. oil and gas. I want to look at Vale, V-A-L-E. Here we go. Here's Vale. Oh, V-A-L-E. And that is the stock that I want. There we go, Vale. All right. So do you think it can hit 21? Well, there's resistance right here at 20.95. So that's the issue. It's been coming up to that resistance right here, and then it's been turned back. Now, can it move higher? Well, I definitely think it. I definitely think it can, based on this chart. The relative strength is very high at 95. We possibly could see this hit. This is at the top of the range in terms of the range. So going to the 10-minute chart here, we're seeing that there is resistance right at the 20 level. So this is where we've kind of got to, this is the number that we need to move past is 20 right here, because this is where we're seeing where we're seeing the resistance. Who knows if it can get off there, but we definitely have had some buying in here. So potentially it could. I wouldn't be selling, that's for sure. But if you're swing trading it, it seems like it's stepping up. It's gone basically from 17 to 18 to 19. So if you want to put your stop loss in, I'd probably put it in at about 18.10 or so. That's where I would put it in for Valet. So great, good stock. Very, very good stock. Hey, thank you, Matt, for talking up that. This is the one that I did talk about earlier, just at the open, and that is Joe. And it's not a coffee stock. So I might want to have some Joe after the show. Isn't that pretty good? Joe after the show. Anyways, this is Joe, St. Joe Company. I'm going to go over here to the daily chart just to kind of get you a look-see at this and kind of zoom in on that. Let's see if we can zoom in on the chart a little bit. Okay, come on. There we go. Great. All right. It did, and this is something that very interesting. This pulled right up into the buy zone. And as you can see, you probably can't see this. This is probably kind of hard to see. This says S&P 5. What this means is this black line here. I want to show you that this little black line here. This is the S&P 500. Okay, notice how we were in this downward trend, and now it looks as if Joe has moved above that line. Which, what does that mean? Well, that means that this is getting stronger than the S&P 500. So that is very, very good. Let's kind of look at some of the statistics on it for Joe. These are the options, but let's go over here to the checklist. Joe, and I may be buying some Joe tomorrow. Joe has 100% checklist, and this is not a bad thing. They did very well. Their last quarter, their sales were up 56%. And their profits were up 59%. And this is in the resource area. This is not a really exciting thing, but it owns and develops towns and resorts and residential properties. This is actually the largest this is the largest private landowner in the state of Florida. And so what makes Joe interesting is that Florida is the number one place in the country where they are building houses. So primarily, this is in the north west part of Florida, but these have a lot of land and they're doing very, very well. So this is one you might want to kind of get into. It's gone through this long base, going way back here to, basically December of 2020. So basically, it's been basing for over a year. So I mean, a long time. We've got almost 2 years of basing action, and now it's starting to peek its head above. So I do think it's going to do quite well as people discover this one. Is Nike safe to enter since it rocked earnings up after hours? Well, I'm not. I haven't been an NKE for a while. It's a great stock, of course. It's the biggest apparel company. I think it's bigger than Levi's. Yeah, I think it's the biggest apparel company out there. So in terms of the chart for Nike. Here's the thing I don't like about Nike right now, and it's not that I don't like Nike. I like Nike a lot, but part of the issue with Nike is this trend. As you can see on the weekly chart, Nike has been moving lower. Okay, so we don't really like that. Part of the problem with Nike right now is that you have the 50-day line below the 200-day line. So it is still in a downward trend. Now, it did rock earnings. I agree, but the thing about playing the earnings trade is you can be very surprised. I mean, a company can blow away earnings and then have difficulty in the after hours. I do think it probably is going to reverse higher based on this monthly chart. It's come down and it's tested and it may move higher, but still, as of the weekly chart and the monthly chart, it's down 4%, 4.66% for the month. So in 3 weeks, it's been down. Maybe it'll get a little bit of love here, but I just don't think so. I wouldn't be rushing to get into this one. As you can see, it has this downward trend, and the main thing here is that, as they say, the trend is your friend. I would not buy this one. And the reason is because it's below that 200-day line. Now, I do make it, I bought AMD today, and you say, well, Jim, you bought AMD. Well, AMD had crossed above the 200-day line. I just don't think this is a good place to buy the stock here. So my opinion here is that NKE is not ready. Buy. So I wouldn't be a buyer of Nike here. I just wouldn't be ready. It's below the 200-day line, and it's just you wait for it to confirm an uptrend. Right now, we are below that 200-day line. It had great earnings, but earnings by itself are not going to turn this around. So I would not be a buyer of Nike at this time. I just wouldn't because there are other things that are better set up. Okay, so I don't think it's safe to enter, and so I would not do that. I would not do anything there. Let's look at EGY for Mr. Jeet. EGY, and take a look and see how we're doing there. And Valco Energy, I like these energy plays, as you well know. This is an international E&P. I definitely like that area, but I don't think this is the one to be in. I don't think this is the one to be in, only because it's got several strikes against it. This has got several strikes against it. One of them is that it sells for under $10 a share. Now, why is that so important to me? Well, the reason that's so important is because typically, and though there are some exceptions with these resource stocks, but typically stocks that trade below $10 are not investable by the mutual funds. And a lot of the action is on mutual funds. So this one, I probably, even though it has a relative strength of 99, I don't know if I would buy this one. It does have a very good checklist, 78. The technicals look very good on it. It's right above the 10-day line. And it is a less expensive stock. So could you buy it here? Well, it's a little bit extended above that buy point. There is a buy point, but the buy point is at 431. So, my take on this one is there are better ones out there to buy. So with this one, I would say, with this one, I would say EGY is extended above the $4.31 buy point. So I wouldn't be a buyer at this time. I just wouldn't be a buyer. But that's not to say that I wouldn't be a buyer. That's not to say I wouldn't be a buyer in the future. But right now, the buy point is at 431. It's extended above that. It does look like it's pulling up to the 10-day line. I want to buy it on a reversal. Let this thing pull back. You can buy this, but let it pull back to that. Let it pull back to the 50-day line. The 50-day line is at 516. So that's kind of where you want to be. I would wait for a pullback to $5.16. So that's kind of where I would do it. I wouldn't buy it here. Wait for that pullback to about 516. I think you'd be much happier there. It's in a great area. It's in the #1 group right now, International E&P. I have 2 stocks in that group. The first being, of course, Oxy, and then I also have Hess, as I said before. So those are the 2 that I have. Murphy is also, but it's not set up, unfortunately. And let's take a look at CMRE to get an idea there. CMRE. All right. I don't know this company. Oh, Greek producer. Oh, it's a maritime shipping company. Very interesting. Don't know a lot about this stock. I will be honest with you. I don't know a lot about this stock. But it looks as if, it looks as if it's in a good area. 19 out of 197. Shipping has been very strong. Gosh, I kind of want to look at this group. Let's look at the group. I am interested in this group a lot, but I'm more interested in some of the usual suspects, the Zims of the world, that kind of thing. Now, Zim paid out a huge dividend, so that kind of skewed, that kind of skewed the way it. There we go. That kind of skewed the way it was going. So let's see if we can find something in this area. Costa Marine, I'm familiar with them. Now, I can see why you're interested in it. It definitely is. It definitely is in the buy zone, and it is above. So you know what? This is possibly actionable here. 100% checklist. So that's looking good. You know what? I think this one's actionable, Gene. I really do. So I definitely think that you could buy it. So this is buyable, absolutely buyable. This is buyable. So Costa Marine, I think this is an Italian company, right? No, it's Greek. Costa Marine, MARE. And this is a symbol CMRE. Is buyable right now. So it definitely is buyable right now. And I wasn't tracking the stock, but I think this one's buyable. It's in the buy zone. It's got 100% checklist. It's in a great area. It's checking all the boxes. On the technicals, we're above. We're a little bit extended above that 10-day line. That's a little bit of concern there. But this is such a cheap stock at $17.38 that I think you could buy this here. I definitely think you could buy this here. So I'm going to put this one down as a buy. CMRE. So that's looking very, very good for a low-cost stock. And wow, okay. All right, let's see about another question from TikTok. Thank you very much. Buying pork bellies and sweet corn. Not a bad idea. There is a play, if you're interested in this one, is ADM, Arthur Daniels Midland. And the reason this one is such a good play is because commodities are going to see their day, and the commodity prices have been going up just tremendously. Now, I did have a nice play on some of the fertilizer stocks. I may be getting back in if I can find a good entry point. I'd like to get back into Intrepid Potash or something like that. But right now, ADM is starting to look very good to me, and that one is just breaking. And this is kind of a different play. This is a little bit different way to buy it than This is not totally a normal way of this is not totally a normal way of buying it. But here's the thing about ADM. Oh, that's Advanced Micro Devices. I did buy that one. ADM, Arthur Daniels Midland. This is that huge company based in the Midwest that basically is just the biggest supplier. I think the biggest supplier of grain in the world. I think Cargill may be the bigger. I don't know. But anyways, in terms of edible products, it's all there. Now, here's the problem with this one. it came out of this tremendous base. It was basing literally for a year, comes up, moves through the moves through the buy zone. Now, here's the thing: great stocks aren't going to give you that many chances to buy them. This, I believe, is a great stock, and it has, a great checklist, 100% checklist on this one. This one is making a move. It's off a little bit after hours. I would like to see this thing pull back to possibly the 10-day line, and that's where I would consider buying it. I'm watching this stock. I'm not in the stock yet, but I do think that it's going higher. I really believe that because of the food situation with the war in Ukraine, and this could be a really, really good stock. And it's big. It's got tremendous reserves. It's got a great checklist. It's not set up the best. I'd like to see it coming out of a base, but this is not a tech stock. This is a resource stock. You buy these a little bit differently. This is one you might want to take a look at as ADM. All right, let's see if we can get. Okay. I talked a little bit about ADM. About AMD. Let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA just popped today. I was not ready for it. NVDA, of course, is the symbol for NVIDIA. And NVIDIA is basically moving very, very nicely. It moved above that reversal line. I have a reversal line on it, and up to 250. Could you buy it here? It definitely has reversed, and the question is it going to go higher? I think it's likely to. I think it's likely to. This is a great checklist. It's got tremendous. It's a little bit extended. It's 13% above that 10-day line. Would I buy it here? I want to see it kind of pull back a little bit. It's pulling back a little bit after hours, but this could easily, if this regains its strength, we could see this up to 300. I think very, very easily if the market holds. So this is one that definitely put it on your radar screen. I have not bought this one yet, so I am not in it. I would like to be in it. So, anyways, and the thing was, can AMD hit 130? I think possible. I did buy it today. I really like AMD. I like it a little bit. I think it's a little bit more opportunity than on NVIDIA, but NVIDIA is also a great stock. This one I definitely think could move up easily to 130. It's off a little bit after hours, but I definitely think this one has the capability because it's moved above that 200-day line, and that is indeed very important. All right, DPZ short and what wheat? Let's look at DPZ, and we're almost at. We've still got a few questions. DPZ. And Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza. I probably made a mistake on this one. I did have a bull trade on this one. I had to close it. That was a while ago. I had a bull call spread way back, basically last year. Did okay on that. This stock, by the way, over the past, I think it's about 10, 15 years, this has been one of the top performing stocks in forever. The question is it going to continue to perform? And I think it's likely to, but I just don't like this, I just don't like this this cross here. I don't think it's good. I think this is a death cross. So, it does look like it's struggling. I would not short in this particular market because we have turned to a confirmed uptrend. You don't really want to do a lot of shorting in confirmed uptrends. And Harris also has a question on Global Foundries. I do own this one, GFS, and it was off a little bit today. I really think that this one now could be a monster. It's up after hours. This is very, very volatile. So this is not, you're not going to handle this stock quite like the other ones, but I do think that there's resistance right at about 73. And the question is, can we get above that level? Well, I think so. I think so. It's come up to its level. It's pulled back, and I think it's likely to move up once again. I really like this stock. It is an IPO, but it is an IPO with customers. So it's unlike a lot of the other ones. I do think that Taiwan Semi is going to have a lot of trouble making chips, mainly because of the threat from China, and a lot of their business is going to come from Taiwan Semi. So I do think the orders on this one are going to be excellent. So I really like this one. The question is, I did buy it. I bought it basically last week, and I bought it as it sort of came. Yeah, there it is. My buy point was 73.96. So I'm a little bit off here. I bought it pretty much right as it moved above the pivot. I moved it right as above the pivot. But it's in the after hours, it's 73.35. So it looks like it's holding. We did have we did have some buying coming in, so I definitely think we're going to have more buying on this one. So this is one of my favorites, and I'm just trying to build a nice position in it. I don't think tech is going to perform well overall just yet. I agree with that totally. By the way, crypto wealth. I think you're right. Tech is going to have difficulties. Now, here's where I've been going in tech. I've been staying out of the semiconductor. I've been mostly in the semiconductors, mainly because there's a definite shortage there in semiconductors. I've been staying sort of out of the software plays, but I do have several chip companies right now. I'm in Rambus. I'm in AMD. I'm in Alpha Omega Semi. We probably want to see that one. So I definitely think there's strength there. But I think largely the show is right now is in the international E&P companies in the oil sector. That's Hess and Oxy. So those are the ones I think that are going to do the best. Tech is not going to be as easy, I don't think, to make money in tech as it's been, where you just kind of pick a tech stock and it just goes up. I think you're going to have to buy tech stocks at the right price and the right and out of the right pattern. It's going to be more difficult to do that. Now, I did buy one today, which was Alpha Omega Semi, AOSL. I did buy that one today. It is right below a 59.38 buy point. It's right before a 58.39 buy point, and it does look like it's moving higher. It was off a little bit today. I did buy it as it was pulling back, and I think it's going to move a little bit higher. Very volatile stock, but it's in the power converter area. This is an area that is going into almost all the semi. So this is a good area, I think, to focus on. This is a good area to focus on. Are the semiconductor area. All right, we have some other questions. AGCO. Is this? Always remember, this is Broadcom. Is it Broadcom? No, ADU. Oh, agricultural tractors. This is an interesting stock. I have not traded this one, but this is a European company, and they're doing very well. They're doing very, very well. So this is definitely something you want to look at. I want to look at the checklist on this one. It's got an 87 relative strength, which is really good. And the technicals are looking pretty decent. It's a little bit above the 10-day, so it's a little extended. Checklist is good. I really like the area that this one is in, farm machinery, because we are going to see, because of this, this thing with the war, and I don't wish the war on anybody, but I think that we're going to see a lot more interest in, farming, because there's going to be a lot of inflation, and wheat and those kind of things are going to go for a lot more. So this is definitely one. I don't know if I would buy this right now, but I definitely am interested in this one. I kind of want to see it move above about 140, but I definitely think that you could get into this if you want to. I'm not currently in this one myself, but I think this really goes well with the agricultural chemicals and everything like that. So looking pretty decent. Facebook, let's look at Facebook, FB, and see if that is viable. Facebook is kind of having issues in terms of its, in terms of its stock. Now, I did do a, I did do a bear credit spread on this one, and we did okay on it as it retreated. Now it's trying to get above that 21-day line. I just wouldn't buy it. It's too deep, and it's too deep. It's below that 21-day line. I mean, below the 200-day line. So, Facebook is below the 200-day moving average. So no buy. That's really kind of my thing. I don't want to buy them below that 200-day line. There's other setups in this area that are better. And so this one I wouldn't buy. I think this is going to go down lower. I wouldn't short it either, though, because the market is currently in an uptrend. So when the market is in an uptrend, you don't want to short something that's going lower. So, all right, I think that's about it for everything today. By the way, if you haven't signed up for the Action Trade Alert, it's very easy to do. Just go to www.dallastradingfloor.com, and super easy to get on that. If you're watching on TikTok, just go to the just go to the profile, click on the link, first and last name, and we'll get you right set up on that. Also, like us on YouTube. We're on YouTube every day, and we're also on Facebook and LinkedIn and a lot of other things, but mainly YouTube and TikTok. Those are sort of our biggest. Those are sort of our biggest, the biggest ones. Now, also, I would like it if you could like this, because by liking the show, it helps us get out to a lot more people, and I really appreciate that from everyone doing that. So until tomorrow at 5 o'clock, everybody, happy trading. Stay safe. Take a look at the at the watch list, because this, we're coming into a period where there are there's some good opportunities, and to get to the watch list, very easy to do. https://bit.ly/GTF0099. So if you do decide to do that, you will find about 43 very good stocks that are getting ready to pop, and that's a good list to take a look at. All right, so everyone, I will be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Thanks and happy trading.